Hey Ike, hey, what's going on? Man, yeah, it's good to be back here, man. Thank you so much. Didn't want to open that up, but I've got some of my subscribers already locked in. Archnews here. Hey, what's good? What's up, Archnew? Archnew, we're gonna have some fun today. I'm actually gonna get into the brand new iPhone 17. May talk about some of its specs, but anyhow, let me open up the chat. It's good to see everybody. Daniel was in the chat. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Welcome to the chat. This is Thursday. I know it's not Friday, guys, but I'm here anyway. I want to just really want to say welcome. First of all, thank you so much, guys, for joining. Those who are watching live, those who are here watching, and you may be watching the replay. Also, welcome. This is an exciting time. My name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. Things are well. I already see everybody in the chat, so I'm going to say hello to the chat today. It's so good to be up here well, it is morning for me. I slip and say that, but it is what it is. Not necessarily it's morning to the rest of the world, but anyway, welcome to this channel. My name is Brett with Anvil's Music and Media, and I'm so glad to have you guys here with me. Now, today we are going to get into a few things. I don't plan on being up here very long, but anyway, we are excited about the weekend coming up. We're excited about so many things that are going on. Of course, last week I was here. Last week we talked. I was here last weekend. And for those of you that do not know, we have just started a membership for this channel. So come check it out if you get a chance. Please sign up. You're gonna get some of the behind the scenes footage, some things that we don't normally share here out front. And of course, my live audience is really my greatest audience. I really just love the live interaction. So Daniel says it's still morning here for 8 minutes. Exactly. Your continent is afternoon. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, yeah, I want you guys to lock in. We've got a lot of things a lot of exciting things coming up. Of course, we've got the season is of course turning into fall, and we're coming up on the holiday season, and of course Thanksgiving, and we got a few things. I released some other things. I will release some other things later. I've been working on a lot of cool stuff, but it's great to see you guys today. It's great to be here live in the chat, man. I'm telling you, this is a place where we can just come and communicate. So it's good to see you guys. Good to see Ike. Good to see Arsenal. Daniel, of course, is here, is moderating the chat. So I'm glad for that. And my name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. So as you're coming in, let me know where you're watching from. Please do. Please come in and say hi. Any comments that you have. We're gonna get right into it. So I Alfaz is here. Hey, Alfaz, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Are you first time? It's good to see you today. I am excited to see all of you guys that are here. Ike says it's 3:34 a.m. here. I have yet to fall asleep. Yeah, man. Looks like you might not you might not fall asleep. It's if it's 3:34. Man, wow. Ender is here. Hey, Ender. It's so good to see you back. Yes, you're back live in the chat. I'm glad to see you today. This is great. I'm seeing all of my people here. Um, yeah. So what I was saying is, in terms of this channel. Now, guys, this channel started as an Apple channel. Really, I did a lot of Apple reviews, and I'd hate to call it an Apple channel, but really, that's really what it was. I started out giving Apple reviews, doing a lot of different equipment reviews. If you go on and if you get a chance, please check out the channel. Those who are first timers, let me know that you are. But let's see. Arsenal says, I think I was the only one expecting a good AI in iPhone. Yeah. And we that's an ongoing conversation, right? The what Arsenal was talking about is AI in the iPhone. Apple has always been teasing an upgrade with AI and the iPhone 17. But unfortunately, it's not going to necessarily come with an actual iPhone. It may be possible that the update may come in the future as a part of the marketing strategy of Apple to sort of co-market it with a new iPhone that may be released. Now I don't know if they're going to go iPhone 18. I don't know what they're doing. But however, it's more or less AI is going to be released with their operating software. So the OS software, any operating update. So you won't necessarily have to buy a new phone to get any AI updates. But by the same token, uh, we're not sort of there. Apple's not even there. Apple's not even ready for AI and the future of what that looks like. And we've talked about before how Siri has been lagging. It really should have been the first ideation for artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, it did not make the cut. It did not make the cut. Not only did it not make the cut, Apple sort of dropped the ball. They dropped the ball on this. So that's very unfortunate. Let's see. Daniel says Apple has an AI issue. They originally purchased Siri rather than in-house development. Now they lean heavily on OpenAI. Exactly, and they have to lean on OpenAI. And this is sort of maybe the beginning of Apple's sort of downfall. Like, we don't know. The time remains to be seen. I think Apple will always be in the forefront of phone technology as long as we have wearable tech. This is what we're gonna get. But yeah, we will have to see. Ike says I used to be very excited about tech. The magic seems to have faded with time. Magic isn't there right now. Yeah, man. Ike, I like that comment. I'm curious as to what you're saying as far as like what type of tech have you were you excited about? We of course, I come on here live and we talk about artificial intelligence. We've talked about it so many times, and I feel like sometimes it does wear out. But and then there becomes a new update, a sort of new uh, happening. So I always like to talk about um, the things that we talk about here, and to make sure that you guys are engaged. So I'm curious about that, Ike. What sort of tech were you excited about, and now you aren't? Inside Say Yum is here. Hey, what's going on? It's so good to see you, Inside Sayum. Welcome to the channel. Uh, Question King is here. Not, of course, he's asking questions. Uh, um, but yeah. So to that, Apple has dropped the ball on its release or lack of release of AI products. And now, so I what I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit is we've gotten a lot of questions about iPhone. Speaking of iPhone storage, and I sort of want to talk and tackle the storage wars, because many people who buy and go to buy iPhones, they are really uneducated about what they should buy. And of course, a lot of people have purchased the iPhone 17. I have not purchased the iPhone 17. I still have an iPhone 15, which works perfectly. The iPhone 15 is it's actually a very good phone. So let's see. Inside Sam says, I have a question. Which is better, Samsung S23 Ultra or the iPhone 14 Pro in 2025? Yeah, Inside Sam, you definitely want to go with the iPhone 14. Or even if you can, go with the iPhone 15, which I have. The S23 Ultra, while I don't have a lot of information about it, you're just better off. And I would ask you, do you have any other Apple products? That's going to be the determining factor. Um, do you have, because Apple's ecosystem, let's see, do you have any other Apple products? Because with Apple's ecosystem, of course, it connects you across the board from your iPhone to your Apple Watch, if you have an iPad. So, that's the thing that Apple's been able to do that other companies have not been able to accomplish, is this ecosystem to where one device connects to the other. So good question there. Arsenal says it would be better to go with the 15 if you can extend your budget. Yeah, it definitely would be better to go with the 15. But today, actually, I'm gonna really talk. I really want to talk about iPhone storage, right? And how iPhone storage is. You definitely want to focus on your iPhone storage. Let's see. Daniel says, I said it a few times already. The Air suits my needs. It's the first iPhone I might buy. Yeah, Daniel is still flirting with the iPhone. I know. Eventually we'll get you over this side, man. Guys don't know Daniel's been Daniel's been flirting with the iPhone 17 Air for a while. He was I think he was a little bit excited. You were a little bit excited about the release of it. And here we are. So we'll see what happens. But so most people who buy iPhones they are wasting hundreds of dollars. And let's break it down. Like I really want to talk about storage and how most people go into it and they are willing to spend the money but don't necessarily need to, right? Inside Satan says, yes, I currently am using an iPhone 13 Pro, but along with I'm going to a Samsung S22 Ultra also, but I personally think the Samsung has more practicality over Apple, isn't it? Practicality. I mean, you'd have to explain what you mean. I do not have a Samsung S22. I've not. I reviewed it on one of my shorts, but as far as I'm concerned, Apple edges it out every time. So yeah, let me know what do you mean by practicality, because we can probably sort of argue that on Apple side as well. Not that I'm sort of biased. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm biased, guys. Am I biased? Let me know in the chat if I'm biased. But Daniel says I have perfectly working rooted Android, so it's hard to go and buy one. Yeah, yeah, Daniel. I mean, you're the type of guy that you use your devices a little bit more in depthly than most other people. So I would suppose that you're not in a rush, kind of like me. And the way to be practical is to get a phone and stick with it, and you don't necessarily have to go and buy the latest and greatest every time a phone gets released, right? So um let's see. Inside Sam says like Samsung's S Pen. Okay, okay. Yeah, well, Apple has touch devices for you to be able to use there. Um Ike says the last thing I was genuinely interested was the Quest 3 because of the sheer amount of cool things you can do with it. Fan ports of PC games, 3D movies, spatial mapping with a ton of central. Okay, nice. Yeah, the Quest 3 I agree. I agree with that. Ike, I would ask you. I'm curious how much storage do you guys have, and you guys can answer this in the traps. How much storage do you guys actually have on your phone? And I want to know how much. Currently, I think I have 128 gigs on my iPhone 15. I'm curious about that. Let's see who is here. Risham says Hawaii will take over Apple soon. Hawaii's got some cool products out. I don't know if they'll take over them soon, but Etz Quar is here. Hey Etz, how's it going? It's good to see you in the chat. Thanks so much for joining. Who else is here? Sakin says I am from Jerharet. Good to see you, Sakin. Thanks for joining the chat. Not Reacher says, Satin, if you like extra freedom, then you would go with Samsung. Yeah, absolutely, 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 absolutely. Yeah, you definitely want to have more flexibility with Samsung. Okay, Arsenal says 512 gigs. Awesome. 512 gigs is good. Ike says comparison is the thief of joy. I know, but people do it every day. They do it all day, every day. Um, Daniel says my $200 Moto has the same 5 MPX sensor as the iPhone 15. 12 gigs of RAM, upgradable storage, and a headphone jack. Oh, and Dolby Atmos sound. Cool, cool, cool. Ike says I have 128 gig plus and a 512 gig SD card. Lots of storage, can go up to 2 terabytes. Awesome, sweet, sweet, awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome. Artistic is here. Hey, Artistic, how are you doing? Says, can I request a song? I'm not playing songs right now. I am in the studio, guys, but we're talking iPhones. We're talking phones in general. We're talking storage space. So one of the things I want to say, and before I say that, Arsenal says I'm still using the 16 Pro. I don't think I need the 17. Yeah, you don't need the 17. Like it's not that big of a deal. But what I want to say is the number one thing that most people get wrong when they're purchasing or they're looking to purchase a phone is they forget that the moment they purchase the phone, however they're going to use the phone is going to determine how much space that they are going to use up. So, for example, I had an iPhone 10, and this has been probably 2 or 3 years ago. I had an iPhone 10 that I was using. Didn't have a lot of gigs, a lot of space on it. But what I would do, the secret thing that you've got to do, what I would do is I would constantly monitor, and I learned this. You always have to constantly monitor your storage, especially if you're heavy into videos and video editing. And at that time, I was using my iPhone to record videos to upload online. And this is a very important thing that you've got to make sure that you are aware of. Let's see. Now, Arsenal says still using the 16 Pro. I don't know. I need to. Okay, I did say that. But so you guys got to understand that when you get a phone, make sure you're monitoring, because most people do not monitor their usage of their storage. Most people honestly would not monitor their phones if they didn't have a battery problem, and they're not good with even monitoring that. Right? That's why it's such a issue, or people compare. Like somebody said earlier, comparison is the thief of joy. Like people are comparing, like my battery lasts this long, or how long does your battery last? Does your battery last, 24 hours? Some companies, like Samsung, I know they really market their phones because of the battery life. So um, that's something you got to be careful of. No matter what the storage is, you got to know what you do as a person. If you're just like surfing the internet, taking a picture here and there, doing the normal stuff that people do, you don't have to really worry about it, right? You're not really worrying about losing storage. Let's see. Ike says recently got a OnePlus Tab 2 and it only has 256 gigs. No expansion for storage. Good question. Good thing there. No expansion for storage. That's key because Apple doesn't have any expansion at all. The tablet is amazing. Other than that, it sucks. It has little storage, 12 gigs of RAM, 144 hertz, 3K display HDR. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah. So hey, Alab, it's good to see you in the chat. I see you here. Um, Good to see you guys. But yeah, so you guys gotta understand. So here's the secret though to iPhone storage, and I will say this: users pretty much for the most part they offload data, apps, and processes from their devices and store them in the cloud. So we haven't really talked about the cloud much. I don't use the cloud much, to be honest with you, but these are third-party servers, and so premium iPhone customers like me are becoming less inclined to spend extra additional storage, just because it's just too expensive, right? There are two factors, guys, that drive the iPhone financial performance. The first is going to be the model mix, and then the second is going to be storage upgrade. So there's two factors that drive how Apple, how they make their money with iPhone financial performance. Let's see. Um, Daniel says, can you upgrade the storage in NAND chips in Apple hardware? Not for amateurs, though. You can. Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's not for amateurs. Man, maybe that's a project you could take on, Dan. I don't know. I don't know. Is that something you think you can take on? I'm not sure. I want to say, guys, welcome to the chat. My name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. And I think I'm talking too fast, but I appreciate you guys for joining. Thank you so much. Today we're talking about iPhone storage. We're talking about Samsung, and we're talking about different iPhone products, different iPhones or different phones in general. So, welcome to the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining. You guys are in the chat. The chat is live today on a Thursday. We're live. Arstu says the iPhone 17 Pro Max colors look so tacky. I went to the mall recently and orange looked so bad. Yeah, I don't like the orange at all. I don't like the orange. I don't even think so. Colors are another marketing strategy of Apple, because if you get once you get a phone, and I used to think about this, like I think one of my first Apple phones was like a rose colored, it's like a gold colored plate. But by the time I put a case on it, it didn't matter anyway, right? I put a case on the phone. It didn't matter, like because you can't see the color after you put the case on it, and people don't realize that. Like, so I don't even understand. It's kind of silly to me. Like, don't get swayed by like what the color of the phone is. That's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Good point. Good point, Arsnu. Ranuk is here. Hey, Ranuk, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Uh, Ike says the last thing I brought Apple related was AirPods. Yeah. Me too. I want to say I bought the AirPods 4. So, yep. All right. So I was getting into Apple's secret. So Apple likes to sell iPhones. It's probably about 70 to 80% of Apple's revenue on a yearly basis, and so Apple encourages customers to buy models with the newest, most advanced features, um, and of course, along with those new features, you're going to have high prices. And Apple sells, they sell storage upgrades that allow buyers to keep more photos, more music, more apps in their devices. And so you're getting sold this monthly subscription of storage upgrades, which I do not like. I still don't. I just personally like to monitor how much storage I'm using from day to day, from week to week, which you have to. If you don't, you're gonna end up. It's like driving in your car without looking at the gas monitor, right? Eventually, you're gonna run out of gas. Or if you're electric, if it's electric car, looking at the without looking at the battery, like eventually you're gonna run out. Eventually, you're gonna run out of energy and or gas. So, um, Uh, Ike says, got any Amazon deal recommendations? They're doing sales and was going to ask if you had any suggestions. Ike, no, I don't, man. And this is Ike. This is Amazon week, right? Isn't this Amazon week? Please answer that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Uh, Ronuk says, "Do you have an Instagram account?" Yes, I do. But we're here live on now, so you can talk to me now. Ike says, "Correct. Yes. Man, Daniel, do you have any deals? Do you know of any Amazon deals? Let's see. We might have to venture and go there. I'm not totally sure what Amazon deals in terms of tech. Uh, Amazon has so many products. Uh, has so many products. Um, all Yep. Daniel says, I'd say look for brands you're already familiar with. What you're not gonna find on Amazon, deals on Amazon, is really gonna be Apple products. I've yet to see Apple products up there, but yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Ike, I would say, what are you looking for? Are you just looking to buy something? Are you looking to upgrade? Do you have like a studio? Do you have like a computer? I mean, uh, you know, um, so to that, yeah. I believe it is Amazon is having Amazon Week. So, back to what I was saying, talking about phone storage in general. Would you guys say, is it better to go with 512 gigs or is it better to go with 256 gigs? Are you better off with more gigs, spending more money, or should you buy the lesser of the two? Uh, Let me know in the chat. 256 gigs versus 512. Which one? Which one would you guys say? I am curious. Ike says SD cards, headphones, audio production headphones. Oh, you broke. Okay. That's cool. You got the ATH M40s. I have those. I have those too. I've got those. I've got those right here. Are these the 20s? I can't remember which pair of headphones. But I love these. I love these headphones. They're good. Brought the whole cord with me. But anyway, Ike. So what I want you to do is I have a review of headphones. I want you to check out on my channel. I don't know if you've subscribed to the channel, but I have a review on headphones. If you want to check that out. Daniel says nothing. Headphones scored pretty high in blind testing recently. Ike says the hinge broke. I was distraught. Had them for years. Yeah. I mean, headphones are so. Ike, it sounds like you definitely are loyal to brands, or you're loyal to your equipment, especially if it's gonna last, right? All right. So, Squeezed FF says, "Bro, how are you?" I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for joining the chat. I'm good. Today we're talking about storage. This is lightly called like the Storage Wars live. And so there are a bunch of questions that I get throughout the week, especially on like my shorts. I've done shorts on, this storage versus that storage, and people are constantly asking questions. I would say to anyone who is purchasing a phone, even if you're purchasing an iPhone for the first time, no matter the storage you get, you want to monitor how much storage you're going to be using on that phone. Consistently monitor. And if you see an uptick in all of the videos and photos and even websites, their cache files that you're using that's taking up space, you got to really kind of grab a hold or get a handle on that and begin to sort of, you've got to begin to sort of take those files and make sure that you store them elsewhere so that you can have open storage for your phone. I don't even want to get into computers because it's a whole nother ball game when it comes to computers and storage, because most people they'll get the latest computer, but they won't have the correct amount of storage, right? So I won't even necessarily get into that today per se, but we're talking about storage for phones. Ike says definitely up for seeing your review. Yeah, and hopefully you subscribe. And guys, if you guys get a chance, please subscribe to the channel. This is Anvil Music and Media. We're excited. This is a little bit different of a live. I'm talking about phones. Normally we're talking about artificial intelligence. By the way, I had a comment I wanted to kind of share to that. I may get into that later in the video. Something that I really think is happening even right now as we're speaking. It has to deal with like the government and its ties to AI. But anyway, back to phones. Let's see who else. We're good. Squeeze FF says, "Where am I from? I live in the eastern part of the United States. Thank you for asking. So good to yeah, we're here in the eastern part of the United States." Ike says, "Make sure to like the stream as well." I already did both. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Ike. I really appreciate you for joining, man. Thanks for locking in. I don't know if this has been your first time or if this is your first time, but I appreciate you for joining. So, what I was saying is Apple, and I know I'm basically talking about Apple because I have an iPhone, right? what Apple likes to do is what they like to do is they encourage their customers to buy models, the newest models, the most advanced features, and of course, they encourage higher prices, right? They want you to buy the iPhone with the highest price. And Apple, they sell their upgrades that allow their buyers to keep more photos and more videos. So what you're doing is you're getting the highest quality in phone, but you may not get the most storage. And so what you have to do is you have to double back sort of and come back to Apple to buy iCloud storage space, and then they've got you on a monthly subscription, and so you're going to be paying that. It's called effectively. I've called it the Apple tax, right? It's a tax that you're given monthly because storage is so vastly important. How many know? If you cannot really function or use your phone without storage, because we don't just talk on this. Even the text you use, even the text when you share, that's another thing. When you share text across, if you send somebody a text, a video text or a picture text, that's actually storage that's being taken up in your phone. So you got to be careful of that as well. Ike says if you wanted to, you can get a Lightning to USB drive, back up your photos and video. It only gets you so far because the apps are ever growing. That's a very, very good important. That's a very good comment. I have a external Lacy drive that I use, and most recently, maybe about a year ago, I went on a trip, took a lot of photos, guys, and I came back and instantly I took all of those photos. It's probably like 100 and some photos and videos. Took all those photos and videos and I did exactly what you're saying, Ike. I basically hooked up, and I did. This is really USB C to USB C. So I don't with Apple. Their older phones have the Lightning cable. They recently stopped use of the Lightning cable just because they really had some litigation issues, and they were sued because of Apple exclusivity. We don't have to necessarily get in that. I've talked about that before. Yeah, USB C. Exactly. But Apple they've all for a long time leveled the strategy of encouraging iPhone users to opt in for higher storage. And these storage variants, they significantly decrease, or they significantly increase the device's price. So Apple just knows what they're doing. Like they are giants in marketing. So yeah, that is what it is. So I don't know if we got a winner. 256 gigs versus 512, or maybe some of you guys are like, I'd rather have a terabyte of hard drive space. That's a lot of space for an Apple device. That's a ton of space. But some of you may actually need that. So let's see who else. So yeah, that's pretty much. I really wanted to lock in and talk a little bit about storage space, and I'm going to continue to talk this. I'm going to continue to have this discussion as we have had some good comments today. Ike, I really appreciate you for commenting. 256 can work if you don't plan on using a lot of apps, but it's hard if you're a very heavy app user. Yeah, and it's also hard if you're like making videos and editing videos online. If you're like using it for music production, like your phone, you're gonna take up tons of space. Even on your computer, like video editing, if you're saving videos, like for me to do a video, guys, let's just go here. For me to record a video and then upload it to my computer, let's say the video is 30 minutes, and you're talking about 10 to 12 gigs of space. Now, obviously, I'm going to edit that down from 30 minutes to maybe 15 or 10 minutes. But you're talking about if I'm doing 3 to 4 videos a week, I've got to really monitor my storage space. And this is just on computers alone. Like 10 gigs is a lot to use on a computer. So you just gotta be careful of that. Gotta be careful. So Daniel says if you have the knowledge, you can replace the chips on an iPhone logic board with a 2 terabyte chip. Nice. Yeah, maybe that's something I'll look to. Ike says 128 gigs is too little. 256 now is the bare minimum. You're absolutely right. 256 is absolutely the bare minimum. Hey guys, I want to welcome you guys to the channel. Those who are joining for the first time, my name is Brett with Anvil. Today we're talking about storage, phone storage. Like how much phone storage should you have? What is the optimal range? 256, 512. Some people say a terabyte. I haven't quite got there yet, but let me know in the chat. Thank you guys again. And I'd ask if you guys get a chance, please subscribe to the channel, like this video. We are live. This is live. The chat's been great, man. This has been a good community. Everybody is like locked in, and we're talking iPhone storage. Let's see who else. So yeah, Ike said 128 gigs is too little. Yeah. Would you guys imagine? So I of course I am the owner of an iPhone 15. Now with this iPhone 15, would you imagine for a moment the Apple will eventually, I say this very very carefully, but Apple will eventually have an AI system that we will be running off of the iPhone. I am just afraid that what's going to happen is whatever direction Apple chooses to go with their iPhones in terms of artificial intelligence, if they're going to still use a third party like OpenAI, right now that's currently what they're doing because they don't really have an answer for this AI revolution of what's going on. How everybody's using AI models for pretty much for information for everything and their jobs, when they're out and about. Artificial intelligence is absolutely here to stay. But I wonder once Apple does catch up to the artificial intelligence arena and this exponential growing period, I do wonder, is this going to affect how much storage that we have in our phones? Like, because you got to understand, data storage is the number one. That is a limiting or a limited source. There's no reason. There's no wonder why there's so many data centers that are being built today. Like so, I'm just curious as to where that's going to go, because you got to have somewhere to store the data, right? Now the cloud is what it is, but I'm just curious I'm curious going forward what Apple will do to sort of allow for extra storage once they do actually get on the bandwagon of AI, and they're so far behind, guys. We've talked about it countless of times, but they're so far behind. Let's see. Ike says, how much RAM do you think is the bare minimum for phones? I agree. 256 is bare minimum. Let's see. MG, yo, what's going on? What's up? What's going on? Nabbit is here. Nabbit, what's up? It's good to see you, Nabbit. What's up, buddy? How are you feeling, man? MG, let's see. Yeah, guys, we're talking about phones today. So we're talking about phone and phone storage. Nabbit, tell me which phone do you have? I feel like you have an iPhone. I don't remember. And how's school going? It's good to see you in the chat. Nabbit says just fearing my final exams. But you have final exams already? I thought you literally just had final exams this summer. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I think 256 is definitely minimal. It's definitely minimal for storage. Definitely is minimum. Um, yeah, yeah, 128 gigs. That fits the 13. Yeah, that fits the iPhone 13. You pretty much have the standard for the 13. It's still a good phone. Still a good phone. Well, I wanted to transition a little bit into I wanted to transition a little bit and talk a little bit about artificial intelligence and where we are today and just some thoughts about it. You guys can still ask questions about iPhone storage, I think, or storage in general. I think this is a very needed conversation because once again, I know that I know of a lot of people who get the phone and you just think you have unlimited. You just are like, okay, it's never going to run out, and eventually it does, because you don't monitor it. And if you're not monitoring it daily, you're going to have a issue and a problem. So, and Nabbit says I need to upgrade. Yeah, Nabbit, me too. um, yeah, I need a I need to upgrade too. But I mean, the 13 is still a great phone. It's still a good phone. So what I was gonna say with artificial intelligence, guys, like we all know, and we've been talking about this for quite a bit. We've been talking about how it's changing society, how we are looking at this space now as a new frontier, how we're just in the beginning stages of what it's gonna provide for us, how it's gonna work in our favor, how we're gonna be able to do more as a result of having more time because we're now letting our devices or our Android, our bots, our artificial bots um, to help us and assist us in an admin sort of way with whatever. It could be a job related. It could be scheduling related. I mean, artificial intelligence is really getting deep to the point where we're going to be able to do more things and have more times. And I'm really excited about having more time to do what I want to do versus like having to send emails or do thankless work, right? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So in this society, we really have to understand where we are, and we have to understand where and have an education about artificial intelligence as a whole. Let's see. Paras is here. Welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Um, Fizar says, "What am I doing?" Yeah, we're talking about. We talked earlier about iPhone storage, and now we're sort of getting. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. Um, Paris video says, "Do you know about GTA San Andreas?" No, I don't. Give me let me know what is that about. We can talk about it. I'm sort of open to that. To us talking about that. But in terms of artificial intelligence, what I am noticing and what I can see, what we're coming into is more of prompting, right? So no, you can open up OpenAI, ChatGPT, and you can prompt it to give you information. You can have sort of a conversation with it. It will answer you back in sort of the ways that you're prompting it. And so what is happening is way back in the 80s, we would have it was a big boom in computer computer technology. If many of you guys now, if you're like me, I graduated in 2000. Um, I graduated in 2000, and so the thing was going into college, like the top two, literally the top two disciplines or degrees that people were looking to do was computer technology, and like something in terms of like engineering or programming. And it's still big today. It's slowly becoming extinct because of AI. But even in 2000, these what am I saying? Even in 2000, these sort of disciplines and sort of degrees, they were they were introduced back in the 80s. So you're talking about computer programming. And so by the time something gets introduced, it's already too old, right? But now AI is taking over coding, it's taking over programming. Um, it's gonna really kind of shake up the job industry. And so we got to be careful of that, because what is happening is we're transitioning from coding and programming to prompting. You can go on any open AI source now and get it to code for you. Because you're literally prompting it now. Let's see. Navarro says Grand Theft Auto. Paras video says it's open world game. Okay, no, I didn't know. So this is like an open world game, and so you play it online, I guess. Ike says Apple needs to improve their AI Magic Eraser tool. It's good, but definitely lacking when it comes to some things. Ike, what do you use? I'm gonna ask the question. Use the Magic. Yeah. Paras says read the comment. It's an open. Okay. Um. Hey, Sangwilish, I think that's your name. I have a terrible name. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Nabbit. Oh man, Nabbit, that's funny. That is funny, dude. Nabbit said, "Man, you're old." Oh man, I gotta. Let me see. I've got to sleep. My bad, but I'll catch you. Okay, Nab, it's good to see you. That's fun. That is funny. Ike says specifically for moving details convincingly from photos, background items, foreground elements, and mishaps. Yeah, so I'm curious, Ike. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what they're doing with AI photos now. Like with AI, you can actually remove. I've got an app on my phone. Let me see which app this is. This app is called Lensa. The Lensa app. Yeah, it's a Lensa app that you can actually you can erase objects from your. So even AI is taking over that. Like it's a pretty good app, Lensa. Even though they have subscription base, of course, just like everybody else has subscription based phones. So um, but yeah, um, yeah, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, Nabbit, yes, I'm old. I'm an older guy. I'm old. I don't know how old did you think I was? That's actually hilarious. That's very funny. Very funny. Guys, for those of you who are just watching my name or just tuning in, my name is Brett with Anvil. I'd love for you guys to subscribe to the channel. Watch us today. I'll be on tomorrow and possibly Saturday. Tomorrow, Saturday is like our high time. That's like the time we sort of get together. But I appreciate all of you guys who have joined the chat. All of you who have commented. We've had a great discussion today. It's been kind of chill. Like I didn't really want to go too deeply into discussions. Sometimes our discussions can be deep. And of course, you guys know that I've started a membership here for this channel. So if you'd like to become a member, please go to the community tab and you can click on membership. If you'd like to become a member, you can actually click on the membership tab on the channel itself. As I'm adding videos, guys, for you to see behind the scenes of the things that I do, the process that I do. I literally was just on the phone yesterday. Was talking to one of my customers that I am and so you'll get to see and hear the behind the scenes of that. And it's sort of like it's really cool. It's really cool to see kind of what I have going on throughout my day. Last weekend I was on the track, guys. I was running. was exercising, and I happened to go live. So some of you guys were able to catch that. It's just a more of a day in a life of what I do throughout the day. You get to kind of get to see the behind the scenes of who I am outside of my lives and my video reviews. So I appreciate you guys for joining. I appreciate the support. As always, it's always good to see each and every one of you because this is a community. We do talk about a lot of things, and I'm sort of excited. Not sort of excited. I'm very excited to see what comes out of it. Daniel said Daniel was there. Yeah, Daniel were there. You were there too. 2000 was a great year. I was 18 years old. Ike says you look 32, maybe younger. Oh, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, 32. That was almost 12 years ago for me. But I appreciate that. But you gotta understand, man. And I don't know what the colleges are, what people are looking to go in now, but there are a few, unless so my opinion is, and don't take this and say go to your parents and say, well, this is what Brett said, but I am of the opinion that unless you are going to college for a specialized degree, a doctor, lawyer, those sort of specialized degree where you have to get specialized training. The use of college is not really, you can really make a living and a livelihood off of just learning the technology that we use day to day. AI, for example, is really it's a game changer. It has leveled the playing field, not just in the financial sector, but in all sectors, the educational sector. There are now schools that are implementing AI programs, right? So, you know, I don't go to college if you're going to college to. I'm saying go to college, right? But don't go to college and major in computer programming or technology because it's not going to be a it's not going to be a degree to where you'll probably even be able to get a job because AI is literally I told you it's coding technology. This is technology that is we can prompt it now. I don't have to code, right? And I have a lot of coders. I have a lot of programmers that follow this channel that I do deeply respect. I respect you guys as well, the knowledge that you have. it just so happens that the space and the time and space that we're in is really a time where AI is really taking over that whole space of programming and coding. So what do you guys say about that? Daniel says, if you're going to university, college, choose an AI-proof job. Yes, you got to choose an AI-proof job. And if you don't know what an AI-proof job is, just ask AI, because because you're gonna want to be competitive in the space, right? You're gonna want to have you're gonna want to have the correct discipline behind you. And there are a lot of kids out there that are really smart that are sort of capitalizing off of this industry as well. There are a lot of CEOs at MIT that are really starting they're beginning these startup companies. And so you're talking about a CEO right at the age of 23, 24, coming out of college, who literally have 3 employees, right? And I don't know, a CEO at 24, would I necessarily follow? That would be crazy to get hired by a CEO who's 24 years old, of a venture capitalist or venture capital startup company, because you know 24 is very young. It's very young, but they're able to capitalize off this because they can literally use AI to leverage their business, and AI can do the work of 3 or 4 people versus hiring a staff of 10. Maybe you only have a staff of 2, right? And you allow AI to do the admin work. This is actually happening now. It's literally happening now. So people are definitely taking they're capitalizing off of AI production and how you can use it today. So, but yes, Daniel says get an AI proof job. You got to get an AI proof job. I'm arguing even now that, like, plumbing and electricity, those jobs are not going to go away. Uh, maybe had I done it before, I would have gone and gotten, like, my electrician license, plumbing license, and started my own company, and then built from the ground up, right? It's so much that you can do out here. The internet has made everything so connected to the point where uh, need you don't really need to wait for someone to uh, teach you a discipline. You can learn a discipline on your own. So, um, guys, get those likes up if you can. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. That way you can get updates every day of when we're coming on. I usually don't announce it per se, but you can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to be here either Friday or Saturday throughout the week. Daniel, see you later, man. Good to see you. Got a dip. Yeah. Happy Thursday to you. I know it's probably 12 p.m. there now. It's no longer morning. But it's good to see you again. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you soon. Daniel, I might reach out to you later. Ike says, however, some automation is good, but most of it can be bad if done wrong. Yeah, I mean, say more to that. So you're saying a lot of some automation is good, but most automation can be bad if done wrong. Yes, and I would say automation without a supervisor, without supervision. If you're automating something and you're not supervising it along the way, then you're going to have a problem once it reaches the end of its automation process, because there may be something that you need to tweak along the way. So you always have automation with a fail safe proof, um, uh, uh, either a prompt that you can sort of get it out of, spinning out of control, right? Because automated is just that. Automation serves one purpose, and that's to literally to make sure that whatever the task is, it's basically for automation is basically for repeatable tasks that you can repeat over and over. So good question, good statement there. But yeah, we're in the age of AI, and we're going to continue to talk about that, and that's why I encourage you guys to follow the channel. Please, if you guys get a chance, you can go back and watch a lot of videos that I've done live here. Even in the past year, we've done so many videos. We have continue to talk and continue to push the conversation forward, because this not only helps you guys, it helps me to educate myself. A lot of things that are going on throughout the world. This is a global channel. Like, I've got followers and people from everywhere, subscribers from everywhere, from India, from Australia, from the UK. Daniel was just here. Nabbit was here from Australia. I had a guy from Hawaii here earlier. So this space is really a space for us to really lock in, and let's just talk about it, because we want to be in the right place at the right time. So I'm always about being on the right side of history. And as things are progressing, as we're sort of continuing forward, we know that the technology is only going to get better, and it's exponentially. I didn't get a chance today to even talk about the government, how the government is really spinning its wheels, trying to figure out ways to a guardrail and put a guardrail system up for artificial intelligence. It's not really going to work, but the government is determined to control what it can control, whether it be in the form of tariffs, taxes, laws, any sort of governing policy that it can clamp down on the heels of AI. But I just don't think at this point government is so behind. There have been new tariffs, and you guys got to really kind of read deeperly, read deeper into the news than what you're getting, because it's not all about what they're saying, but it's what they're not saying, right? A lot of these chip companies, for example, Nvidia, we've got Intel, we've got the Taiwan Semiconductor company that pretty much produces 80% um, of computer chips. They are they're shipping computer chips out so fast that, even the U.S. government is like, we've got to do something about this, because the regulation has to be, there has to be some sort of regulation put in place to not only regulate but to control imports of these chip companies, the chips from the chip companies, and this is really a AI race and an AI war that I'm sitting back with popcorn and I'm waiting to see what happens, because technology has always been a disruptor. The internet was a disruptor. The computer was a disruptor. iPhones were a disruptor, and now here we are with AI as being a disruptor. So to that, guys, I really appreciate you guys. Ike, awesome, man. Appreciate you for joining the channel. Thank you so much, man. Ike, it's been great. Great commentary. If I can spell. Great commentary, Ike. Glad to have you on the channel. As you know, guys, I'm really trying to be what is the word? Proactive when it comes to the chat. And as I see you guys up here, I can sort of respond. And if you guys will join me on tomorrow, man, we'll be back here tomorrow, same time. You guys get a chance. We're going to have a few topics. I may look out for the community tab, because I may leave the topics. And I'm curious as to what you guys are interested in. Ike, what interests you? What are you sort of interested in? I know you talked about before, and I'll wait for you before we get off. I know you talked a little bit before about you were like sort of into. I'm trying to remember what you said. Maybe you didn't say it. Maybe it wasn't you. But yeah, I'm interested. What would you like to talk about? I'm just curious. Okay. Basically everything I talked about. Okay. Awesome. Well, you're at the right channel, man, because this is what we do. And I'm excited about that. So, thanks for joining. I hope you guys have a great day today. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And, you guys just know, this is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. Ike says, and more, of course. Anything sounds good. Well, we definitely dive into, I don't know if this is your first time. We definitely dive into AI like wholeheartedly. This conversation today was sort of like maybe like a prerequisite, or like a little bit more of a calmer conversation. But usually our conversations about AI, artificial intelligence, and how it is affecting our society. Of course, we know, society is eventually going to be a society where we can fully function with AI. We're already at the place of wearing wearable devices. We have the iPhone, we have phones, we have watches. There are a bunch of different wearable devices, and it's only going to get even more crazy. Like Apple is teasing glasses now. Like, so you have Meta glasses, you have Google glasses or shades or whatever you call it. It's just the technology is becoming more a part of us, and it's going to be even more organic. So, tactics. Oh, that is funny, man. Oh my goodness, that is funny. Well, get the popcorn out, man. I don't know. Don't tempt me, because I will. I'll talk about toilet paper. For you guys that are just watching this, unless you see unless you see the comments, don't even worry about what we're talking about, because we're in the comments here, just chatting. So, uh, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I hope you can join us back again on tomorrow. This has been a great time, and I hope to see you guys very soon. All right, guys. You guys take it easy. Talk to you later.